Yo, what's up guys? Jesse LaFlair here from LaFlair Parkour and Team Tempest coming to you from the Tempest Freerunning Academy South Bay. Yes, you might have guessed it. Today we're doing a tutorial on the slide. It's definitely a fun one. I'm going to teach you how to do it when it kind of makes sense and when it doesn't make sense just to do slides for no reason. I think it's fun, and if you want to learn it, let's get started. All right, so check it out. First thing I'd like to do is kind of just talk about sliding. For me, I've been sliding, I've been incorporating it in my movement pretty much ever since I can remember. You know, coming from an action sports background with aggressive inline skating, skateboarding, snowboarding, BMX, all these things have grinds and slides and like cess slides and rollerblading, things like that. And what's cool about it is that it doesn't need to be a specific move. No one's just gonna go do a slide and think that it's the coolest thing ever. But what it can be is this little piece that adds to the puzzle. When you go out and you're trying to be creative and you're trying to come up with a cool line, you can use slides in a way that really just mix into it very smoothly. Like, for example, Foskey's Art of Motion submission video this year had this really nice line with this slide in it, and it looked great. You know, I'm not the only guy out there sliding. There's a lot more sliding popping up in videos, things like that. But I think what's important to know is that this isn't like, it's not a trick that can stand alone really. But when you mix it in and you try to make it technical or things like that, it can actually be used in really cool ways. And you know, one thing that people don't realize is that it can be efficient. You know, I was up in Parkour Origins and there's a line that I was trying to do, and pretty much the fastest, by far the most efficient thing I could possibly do was slide, pop up and slide across and then go into this lâché. If I needed to try to get up to that, I would have had like tic-tac, climb up, turn, go, and then drop into the lâché, and it would have taken way more time and it would have been a lot less efficient. So slides can be just as efficient as other movement. So with that being said, let's get into how to do it safely and how you can think a little bit more creatively about how you can incorporate it in your next line. Let's do it. All right, so obviously there's many different slides. I've actually already done a shin slide tutorial on rails. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link right here. It'll also be in the description. So obviously they're literally like, you could slide belly first, you could jump and go back first, you can go knees, you can do all these things. But what I'm going to cover is more of like a baseball slide in, and a lot of the details that will allow you to get into even the belly slide, back slide, all these different things safely. I would say that the most important tip of doing a slide is going to come from this idea of how you place yourself down. Now this object's great to slide on. It's about hip high, which is cool. You can actually do almost like a safety vault in. What I would say is when you approach an obstacle, you're going to come in with a lot of speed for a slide to continue your movement into something else. It's important for you to know the distance and the height. You can use your hand to come in, but the idea is when you do come in, I think about it like a safety, okay? Like a safety vault, where I'd be going here and then dropping a leg into it like that. I don't know why I'm making sound effects. It's my slide sound effect. But what's important to know about that is that you're not just jumping and like slamming your hip down into whatever it is. And this is wood, so it's a little bit softer than cement and things like that. A little bit more forgiving. But the fact is I don't want to do it. So when I do it, when I jump in, I don't want to jump higher than I need to. I obviously don't want to clip into it. So I'm going to use my hand as an indicator, a spatial awareness tool, mental mapping as I call it, to tell my body and my brain where I'm at. So an important detail is pick a side you want to slide on. I like my left side. Make sure that if that's the side you're going on, that's the hand you're putting down. If you're going to your right side, same deal, it's here, slide in. Make sure when you do it, your body's actually going to lean back a little bit. You don't want to be like forward, because then you're actually going to land on your knee and we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to actually land as flat on our leg all the way down to our glute as possible, because that's going to be the most surface area and the most kind of softest, strongest part that you can get on. You don't obviously want to be too much on your side because you got that hip bone right here, or obviously on your tailbone, because that would suck. Cool. So another thing about sliding is momentum is key. If you don't come in with a lot of speed, obviously you're not going to slide, but on top of that, it's harder to disperse the energy and get yourself completely flat and into that slide position without that speed. So with a lot more speed, think about the physics of it. Everything's actually going to hopefully be coming straight across the obstacle and not down, not into it or up onto it. Literally, you want your body and your momentum to come in and be perfectly aligned, so all the energy is going straight across. Okay? You could start little progressions for this by just staying down and pushing in. Another thing, if you're going for a knee slide, like slide in knee front or things like that, same idea when you do it. You're actually trying to stay nice and low. You're not trying to drop down on your knees, because obviously we're not built for that, so don't do it. So what I do is, if you watch my toes, I actually brace my body as long as I can and push myself forward, so that by the time my knees actually make contact, my feet are on, they're down, and I'm pushing across to keep my momentum going forward and not down into the joint of my knee. So probably the most important tool that you can use is understanding that concept of momentum driving you forward and across, and that's what's going to keep you safe. Obviously, if you're not wearing any shorts, if you're wearing shorts, if you're butt naked and you try to slide, it's going to burn your skin. Okay, so maybe avoid doing that. But outside of that, yeah, anything that's exposed skin-wise, skin doesn't like to slide, it's frictiony. So be careful out there. Try to avoid those burns, and let's take a look at some other different styles of slides. That's it, guys. That is your tutorial for sliding. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below what kind of tutorial you would like to see next. Kind of weird, I'm wearing myself on a t-shirt, striding. But to be honest, I'm pretty proud that Tempest put me on there. So check a link in the description below. I think these will be available shortly. Thanks for watching. Peace out, everybody. Woo!